the what? Love. Oh. What do you mean by love is verb? Is it, you mean the linguistic point of it, or the you need to?
The definition of love is akin to a tree, right? My question is, who planted the seed to the tree?
Oh, who planted the seed?
Yes.
Okay, it's a good question. Okay, you can see it from the point of verb and noun. Noun being the result of that love, verb being the actions that you verb, because we know the verb is something that you do, you practice, or you put into actions, correct? So with regards to your questions, who put the first love, the first excitation, as mentioned by a lot of imam in the kitab, is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's why some of the people, they cannot even conceive and understand why they fall in love with such so and so people, correct? Because the first love is by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's a gift by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But as I mentioned before, that the love is like a gift. It's like my mother give me money, $1, $10. I need to utilize that money in accordance to the prophetic teaching, in accordance in this particular area, in accordance to the Sharia. So to simplify your answer is that the first excitation of love, when the love grip your heart, is by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's a gift by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Imagine we don't have love in this world. Imagine one of the things that I noticed when I learned psychology is that when people don't, when how they brainwash people is that they remove the love of kinship, the love and some point of some sort of like affiliations to somebody. So they brainwash people, and that itself, how to dilute the gift that Allah gives to us, which in this regard is the love itself. Okay. Any other questions? I try my best. As I mentioned before, I'm not a scholar. I try my best based on my limited knowledge to share with what to you all, with you all, with what I have, not with what I have, what Allah have given to me. Okay. Any other questions?
Just a clarification. Sorry, because for the tariqat Ba'alwi, Tariqat Ba'alwi, is following the tariqat enough to say that we are following that tariqat, or does it need a physical ba'yah, or as you said, mentioned just now, it has to be inner inherent feeling, or if let's say, for example, I just follow, is that enough, or that somebody has to physically say that you are?
Okay. Before answering your questions, right, let us think about why you follow somebody. What motivates you to follow somebody? Because of something stamped there. It's because something that motivate it originate there. Correct? That is when you say about following, that itself is originate from your heart of loving, unwittingly, in your case, unwittingly to that tariqah. Which means that to summarize what I say about the bay'at is the inward or inherent, is what you say, the inherent actions of loving or being affiliated to that way. That the gist of it. Okay? Do I answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay, inshallah. Okay, any other questions? Mike.
Bismillah. The Ba'alwi Tariqah is usually associated with the Shafi'i fiqh mazhab. So my question is there a Maliki or a Hanafi who practice or follow Ba'alwi Tariqah?
Of what?
Is there a Hanafi or a Maliki follower, essentially, follows the Ba'alwi? Is that acceptable?
Oh, is it acceptable in the Tariqah al-Ba'alwi? So, based on my limited knowledge, I want to do justice to the tariqah itself, but based on my limited knowledge is that yeah, it's not strictly that when you abide to the tariqah, to the Ba'alwiyan ways, that you need to be a Shafi'i. You need to be Shafi'i. No, it's not. It's not that. There are people who follow the tariqat al-Ba'alwi, but they are Maliki, Hanafi, and even they are Hanbali. Yeah, it's not strictly speaking. It's not a requirement to follow the al-Ba'alwi. You need to follow the Shafi'i. It's just happened that in Tarim, in particular, the popularizations of the Mazhab Imam Shafi'i, school of thought Imam Shafi'i, is widely available there. I mean, in terms of Singapore, we have Shafi'i, we have uh, Maliki, and we have Hanafi also as well, Hanbali. Yeah, I think that Singapore have this kind of diversity. But referring to your questions, if whether I'm following the Ba'alwi way and being Hanafi, for instance, is it does that contradict in and of itself? No, it doesn't. Okay, because the only thing that they prefer at that particular time, because it's dearest to their heart, is that they follow the school of thought of Imam Shafi'i. Okay, and one of the reasons that I was taught back then is that because of Imam Ghazali, they have that kind of profound love to Imam Al Ghazali, because that's why they uh, they want to follow the path of the Ghazalian path, the Ghazalian pathway in which Imam Ghazali itself is a Shafi'i. And that's why one of the interesting thing when I mentioned when that's why that is why I always remind Ustaz Idros and as well as my brother as well as all the Astatiza don't allow me to teach fiqh, because I will talk so much about Imam Ghazali with regards to fiqh also. So I say that the mazhab itself, the mazhab Imam Shafi'i, just extra knowledge, it's not knowledge, it's informations, or rather information, is that Imam Ghazali is the backbone, one of the backbone of the hierarchy system in the Shafi'i mazhab. And that's why they say bibasitin wa wajizin wa khula bibasitin wa wasitin bibasitin wa wajizin wa khulasa hawal jama'atil fihil imam imamah, if I'm not mistaken, which means that the bait itself says that with Imam Ghazali Wajiz, which one volume of fiqh jurisprudence of Imam Shafi'i, and then Wasit 5 volume, Basit 10 volume. This itself is the backbone of the mazhab itself. And then Imam Ghazali have a profound contributions with regards to the school of thought of Imam Shafi'i radiyallahu anhumul jami', inshallah. Okay, any other questions?
You talk about the Shias and their excessive love for the Ahlul Bayt. So, should there be a limit to the love of the Ahlul Bayt?
There should. So to put it in simple terms, as I mentioned before, every of your actions need to be in accordance to the Sharia. So do your love towards the Ahlul Bayt. So your love, as mentioned by Imam Al-Haddad in his kitab, don't overly excessive. Don't love people excessively until you belittling others, until you forget about loving others. So they love so much Sayyidina Ali till they forget about the contributions that Sayyidina Abu Bakar, Sayyidina Umar, Sayyidina Uthman have contributed to the Islamic world. So that kind of love, that's why in tradition itself, it underlays a certain guideline of which your love, even your love, need to be in accordance, in congruence with the Sharia. That's why the Sharia part is really important. That's why they say that Sharia al-Haqiqah bila Sharia dalalah, which means that if you possess a Haqiqah but you don't possess a Sharia, that itself will lead you to deviance. I mean, you will stray away from the right path. Okay, so to summarize what I have said is that your love, as I mentioned, is a gift by Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala, but we need to utilize and situate it in a way that it's in congruence and in accordance to the Sharia. One of the representative, the ambassador of that mazhab. I'm just a seeker of knowledge, knowing limited knowledge about the tariqat. So don't take my words fully. I think that clarified what I said with Habib Kazim. I stand corrected. As I mentioned before, I stand corrected. And this is what I was taught in interim, is that even the Imam, I still remember Habib Hassan Ashatri, just to share with you the stories, is that he was quoting something from the kitab, and then he found out that the kitab is another kitab. And then he said that, oh, I make mistake, and I'm sorry. He not afraid. He have reached the maqam of wilayah. He's known as I would like to say that he's a mafia of Tarim, so to speak, because of his strict principle, and he's not like Habib Umar. He's very halim. He's not very calm, soft spoken. No, Habib Hassan is very strict in that sense. But but in his strictness, he when he made mistake, no, I don't say it's mistake. It's just that he quoted wrong book. He just mentioned wrong book. He's not afraid to say, I apologize. And there was one questions posted to him, and then he bluntly say in front of everybody, the whole society, he say, the society of Tarim, I don't know. You ask the Mufti. He bluntly said that. As an imam, a prominent figure in the Tariqah Al-Ba'alwi, and he is said to be the Khalifatul Salaf, the ambassador or the representative of the Salaf. He is not afraid to say, I don't know. What I am to say, I don't know. Based on my limited knowledge, he can carry on. Sorry to cut you.
If you can answer, just asking. If let's say one individual is bay'at with a particular tariqah, right? Is it permissible for that person to also bay'at with another tariqah?
That is that's why I'm not sure about the answer. I have asked this, but I'm not sure about the answer. You might want to ask Habib Kazim. Inshallah, Habib Kazim is coming. Okay, Wallahu alam bisawab.